Good evening and welcome to the Continental Hotel, New York. My name is Ibuka Namani and I'm going to be your host as we delve into the world, the mythos of the John Wick universe. Today I am joined by the weirdos. I call them the weirdos, but apparently they're twins. I'm joined by Robert and Obiora. Guys, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I can't lie. Jibs, you're my twin now. Apparently,
Yeah, my twins apparently, yeah.
to be fair, yeah, quite a few similarities. Obviously, I'm the final one with the
I'm not sure
beard.
about
But
that. I'm not sure about
where's the beard? Where's the beard, Jibs?
that. It's coming. Just give me time.
Oh
You're like
God.
3 years older than me, man, so allow me.
Don't kill me!
Yeah,
For
sure.
Don't
context,
kill
James
me!
is like 30, so think about how old Robert is.
Yeah, trust.
Robert is like just getting ready for his pension. I was thinking of while you're kind of introducing yourself, I was thinking of a bad Mel Gibson joke, but I couldn't get of anything so far. So,
Oh, okay. I'm bleeping that out, by the way.
oh my god, I haven't like been on for a while, so I'm just quite
Yeah,
excited.
hope you're welcome back. You've been
Quite
you've
excited.
been
I'm quite
out of
excited.
action for such
We're
a
Yeah,
long
back.
time.
I've never
Well,
left.
we've
okay,
missed you.
good. Are
I've
you
been
back
missed.
permanently?
I don't know. We'll think about
Oh,
that. We'll see
you're
how that
still
goes. See how that
negotiating
goes.
your
See how that
contract.
goes.
Okay.
Can you
Bank,
imagine, like,
it's kind of
making
like my
us feel
trial
like it's a
period.
transfer?
Bank sort of like, you better behave yourself, and I'll kind of get you
On
on next week.
probation.
And I've already sort of like thought about making a Mel Gibson joke, so he's sort of like, this was
Exactly.
the
We're
wrong
less than
idea.
2 minutes in,
Less than 2 minutes
and
in.
a Mel Gibson joke has already come up.
But yeah, excited to be back. Excited to be talking about this exciting TV show with you lot, and why the episodes are an hour and a half.
That was number one on my notes. But hi guys. So we're here to talk about the Continental. The Continental is a spin-off show from the John Wick universe that we were introduced to in 2014. The show is going to be a three-part event, and we will cover each episode and have the episodes ready for you as soon as they come out on Amazon Prime. There's
Bezos,
other
baby.
yeah. Maybe we should say we're sponsored by him. I don't know. There's other stuff available on our podcast feed. Where started coverage of sex education. I know all of you watch sex education. This is one thing I don't like promoting stuff that I know all of you watch.
Is it out
So just go
already?
and listen to the episodes. It's out. Our coverage started yesterday, and we'll have 3 episodes covering the season, and the next one's coming out this Saturday, which
Who's
is
on that
tomorrow.
episode?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch that
It's
thing.
going to be a surprise. Robert,
Oh,
you don't
wow.
count. You're like 33, as we've already surmised.
Oh, okay. I
We're
guess
also
this is
covering Gen V, the boys spin-off. Our coverage starts next week on the 29th. There's a 3 episode debut, and then we'll cover that and then drop episodes weekly. And the episodes will be available once you finish watching Gen V on Prime. Other stuff on the feed from the summer months. We've got 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 episodes on Barbie and
Not
Oppenheimer.
5.
Not 5.
that's a
And
lot.
then we've got a lot. We've got episodes on Winning Time, HBO's show about the rise of the Lakers dynasty. I feel like more people should be watching that show. And if you watch Winning Time, please engage with the podcast. Share Winning Time. Share the podcast because that show deserves a third season, and we're really fighting for
We're
it.
fighting hard, man. You guys have been killing it on Winning Time, by the way.
Thanks, Obira. Thanks for that. But please, if you're here, it's because you like the podcast. So if you like the podcast, please rate it on wherever you listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you listen. Just rate, review, even though it's 2 lines. Good job, guys. I said 2 lines, 2 words. Good job, guys. Great podcast, great episode.
That's 3 words, by the
Three
way.
words, you mong.
I can't count. Sorry. Whatever you can surmise from your heart to say about the Popcorn for Dinner Boys, please do it. And we've also got a YouTube channel if you care to look at our faces, which cost of living has us
Our
looking all
beards as
tight.
well,
Jibs is
innit?
rubbing his chin.
I haven't had a trim in it's going to on 7 weeks. Rishi Sunak,
Ooh.
please, please have mercy on me.
She saved me.
But yeah. Anyway, I think we're now ready to get into the episode, and I'm going to start with what was you guys' impression about John Wick as a franchise? I'm expecting everyone here is familiar with John Wick as a franchise. Okay, so
I'll go first. Quite. I was like, yes, we actually have. I think 21st century, right? 21st
Yes.
century action, just like badass action. Because like before that, it was all just nonsense and bollocks, man. What the Expendables, just um, all these action films where another good action film actually, Born, the Born series, where it brought in this new concept of shaky cam, but like these new films that came after just like took it and ran with it. Basically, you can literally couldn't watch any of the action scenes. It's like someone will punch, then he'll cut twice, and it's like I don't know what's going on. I can't really piece together exactly, you know, where's the action and how are they reacting to the action, and where things placed, and just how's the fight of the story, how's the story of the fight going, and everything. I think John Wick was such a relief in terms of I've forgotten the actual director of the first John Wick film, but he just said like,
Chad Stahelski
yeah, there we
and
go.
one other person I'm forgetting. I feel like they
Yeah.
co-directed it.
And he was like, enough of this BS. I'm going to create like a badass action film with one of like the best action movie stars of all time. And yeah, it was just, and obviously with time, it's just gotten bigger and better. And we're just introduced to this entire weird world, I would say. And
Yes.
obviously, I do like the fact that they bring in like classic action legends. I think for the last film, or John Wick 4, they had Donnie Yen, who's like one of like the goats of like martial arts and in Hong Kong martial arts and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just one of those like I guess it's like a relief where we haven't really forgotten how good action can be,
Breath of
and
fresh air.
yeah, it's more like a fresh air. Like John Wick has just sort of reminded us about it.
Roberts, have you got anything to add?
Yeah, I think the one thing about John Wick that always stands out with me is that he gets his ass whooped every single movie. And it's good to see because I think it's not just I was reading something about this and it actually makes sense. You know how you have your Vin Diesels,
Oh
your
Oh,
man,
The
that's a name drop.
Rocks, them boys that never get beaten, like they
Mhm.
never get touched. Your Jason Statham's, that whole Fast and Furious lot, whenever they have any fight scene, like it's so, and it caused actual problems between them around like within their contracts. There's
Yeah,
X amount of hits that they get, and like they have to then come through
no one is
and
allowed
say,
to actually win at the end of
yeah,
the
John
duel.
Wick got decked in every single movie.
Mm.
I think it was the third one where those brothers, I think they're Thai boxers in real life,
Hmm.
but they ran him through so much glass. I don't think I've ever seen someone being run through that much glass. And I was like, yes, this is what real action is about. Like, just deck the guy, like really deck him, and it
Give
was
and
nuts.
take.
Yeah, fully. Also, the idea of a Kevlar suit is actually incredible.
Yeah,
Like the
I
way he
can't
was
lie.
just,
It's so funny because when I watched the latest John Wick, right, and I watched it twice. The second time I watched it, I was looking at it with different eyes because I was like, oh damn, he actually uses this suit a lot. But for the first time I watched it, I was just excited every time he lifted the suit to block bullets. But yeah, the second time I was like, oh god, suits ex machina again.
But it's sort of like I've always wondered, like when you wear a suit, right? You're not restricted, but you're kind of restricted. It's like that's why you obviously won't wear a suit to play football because like you're more likely to have a lot more movement with shorts and a shirt
I'm
and
pretty
stuff,
sure
right?
Jibs wore that to play football in Loyola,
So
just so
like, how do
everyone
you actually
knows.
fight someone and get your ass whooped and thrown around in a suit and you're still looking completely badass and cool at the end of everything?
Dapper.
It's Keanu
That's
Reeves, isn't
true.
it?
To avoid spending the whole episode on John Wick, I'm just going to ask a quick question. Jibs, what's your John Wick ranking of the movies?
Ah, 4, 3, 1, 2.
Interesting.
Huh.
Robert, what about you?
That is mad. I think it's actually 3, 2, 4, 1.
Wow. Wow, yours is
Wow.
even more surprising. Because personally, I think it's 1 and 4 at the top. But because one was just one, I'm putting one on top. And
Okay.
then I'm putting four second. And then three, and then two is last for me for sure.
Same.
Then three and four is kind of tight for me. Because four right now I feel like it's recency bias. I don't know. 1, 4, 3, 2. I'll stay with that. Interesting. We all have
Ah,
different ranking. When we release this episode, I want to hear
Baba
you guys'
Yaga.
John Wick's ranking. But yeah,
yeah. Because when you rewatch all of them, I can't lie. I rewatched one, and I was like, recency bias is actually like very, very, very
yep.
relevant in this
And
situation.
also, one thing is like if you watch them all the same way, it's different. Because the only one I didn't watch in the cinema was two, and it's just my least favorite. I
Right.
watched all the rest in the cinema, and I feel like it takes it to a different level.
Fair enough. I've watched all of them outside of the cinema. I don't think I've watched any
Fair.
of them in the cinema.
If man, didn't want to watch in cinema was 4, and I thought that was the
Your ranking
best.
is balanced then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
No
objective.
See,
bias.
I have the best ranking in case
Let me bring you
anyone's
the
asking, man.
objective analysis on the Confident podcast. Check it out. TM.
Okay. And I think we can go into actual this show. We're going to talk about episode 1 of the Continental. The Continental is a spin off on the John Wick universe. It's going to tell us how Winston became the custodian of the New York Continental. The Continental is a range of hotels around the world that caters to the criminal underworld. So assassins, their bosses, and everything grimy and filthy about the world.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 1 is called Brothers in Arms,
Mm-hmm.
directed by Albert Hughes, who co-directed The Book of Eli. The episode is written by 3 very smart and brilliant people that who are also working on the Expendables TV show, which is funny because Jib's name dropped them. Greg Coolidge, Kirk Ward, and Sean Simmons. Now, guys, what Jibs? We'll start with you. I feel like I've started with you too many times. They're gonna accuse me of favoritism.
I bring the hot takes, man.
What did you
True.
think about this episode?
Could we step back a little bit and just
Okay, of course.
let's. I
What do you want
think
to
just
start with?
How hot is
no,
this
just the
take, Jibs?
concept of them being a spin-off show in the first place.
Okay.
Like, because we've got 4 John Wick movies, and it's like they're
Mm-hmm.
taking this into like a completely new direction, aren't they? With like
Yeah.
the expanded universe. How did you guys feel about that?
Actually, yeah. I'm gonna answer and then I'll hit you back with a question of my own. So, I like spin-offs, and I'm weird because even with anime, I like filler as well because I always want to know more about.
We're weird
Yeah.
because you like anime.
Like, fuck off,
Jibs, you're outnumbered. I can't lie. Like,
Yeah. Don't do
you
this.
just
There's only one good
you don't have the
anime, and
mental
that's
bandwidth
The
to
Last
take it, Jibs.
Airbender. But I digress.
Not in front of the listeners, but I want to know more about a world, and if they're giving it to
Okay.
us, then great. But I also am perfectly okay with there just being an unwritten and unspoken set of rules. So for the entire 4 John Wick films, they never explicitly explain certain rules or certain things about the world, and we're just because you're so immersed in the world, you just kind of accept it. So I'm okay with that. But if the creators of the universe are giving us more, I will always take it. I'll always want it. Now, if I
Yeah.
enjoy it, is a different story, but I'll always want it. What about you, Rob?
No, I think it's probably an anime thing then because I'm the same. Whenever it comes to anything about a spin-off, please feed it. I lap it up. I'm here for it
So
Yes.
help me out here.
because
Is it like animes like spin-offs are quite
There's a lot of side stories. Just put it
oh,
like that.
okay.
there is so many spin-offs. There's so for example, let's take Mobile Suit Gundam. I cannot lie. I don't know where the start of that thing is and where the end of it. And I know I've watched something. So like in the anime world, spin-offs are a massive thing. So I think
Right.
it extends to the way we enjoy TV shows. If I speak out of turn for anyone, please add someone else, not me. But I think the concept of then exploring that world further and showing the different sides of the story that you don't necessarily see in the 4 John Wick movies. So like Winston and Winston's background, that's amazing. And I think the other thing that I like as well about the spin-offs is there's a few side characters who you would have never otherwise seen, like where they came from and how they came into it. Like, God rest his soul, but I forgot his name as well, which doesn't really help.
Lance Reddick's
Lance Reddick.
Lance
Jiro.
Reddick,
from
yeah.
the
So his character and seeing his background is actually really nice to have as well.
Sharon.
But on the final points, let them make their money, man. Literally, let them make their money.
Yeah, Chad Stileski deserves it. But one thing I would say about spin-offs, like following what Robert said, is that there's also a beauty in good world building. Of course, people can flop and they can do it wrongly, but when world building is good, oh man, like you just want more and more, and that's why everyone every year is still catting for Avatar: The Last Airbender stories, because they just want to see more and more of this wonderful world that people have created. Yeah,
But at the same time, you don't want to like oversaturate and just dilute your IP there, do you?
appeal. Yeah,
An
I
appeal.
mean,
But you do want to print those dollar, don't you?
Digimon is still going on,
Digimon is
Jibs.
still going on.
Yeah, Digimon
but
is still going on.
speaking of spin-offs, right? And this is what I was going to ask: when you heard there was going to be a spin-off of the John Wick universe, was this the show you expected? And if not, what show did you want? Or what story would you have wanted?
Good question, because like I really didn't see the John Wick universe because like let's just like kind of remember that the first film was about like it was a revenge tale about the mob killing his dog,
Yeah, but they
and
sprinkled in like some
they
things about
sprinkled in
this.
like
Yeah,
some obviously like the Continental, the little coins, all this kind of like this world that you sort of alluded to initially, and now we're like in this. I don't even know what to call it. So like it's like I didn't really didn't know what to expect because I think every single film has just surprised me. I guess so. It's sort of like I think it was kind of a really hard task in terms of trying to pin down exactly what the show was actually going to present to us.
fair, fair. What about you, Robert?
So to be very honest, I think what I thought it was going to be was a back, which it was very limited. Thinking about it now, was more of his backstory because we actually never really got John Wick's
John
backstory.
himself, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, we
right,
just got
right.
the fact that like he just
This guy's a bad
came,
guy.
yeah, like came, wrecked stuff and left, and his name is Baba Yaga, and that's it. So,
Baba
like we never
Yaga.
got actually how he got in, his like how he met his wife, how he left, and stuff like that. We got sprinkles in the first four movies, especially in the second one, I think.
Mm.
But I'm happy with what we got,
Fair.
and it's interesting because I think it opens the world up a bit more, and it gives us the actual chance to then see John's story because I think his story is quite linked with Winston's.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
but I think what I would be, and this might be speaking a bit too advanced now, what I'd be really interested to see
Is who?
The development of Mel Gibson's character, but as well Lawrence Fishburne. I would like to see
Oh,
the introduction of Lawrence Fishburne's character.
We haven't
oh
seen him yet,
gosh.
have we?
No,
Yeah, we have not.
That's true.
But yeah.
Jibs, why do you hate Mel Gibson?
What?
Mate.
Please, guys,
I
guys, please.
mean, talk about top 10 top people in Hollywood, man. He is probably number 8, 7.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
next, stay tuned for my
C-
power rankings.
c- can we, James? Are you now ready to answer what you thought about the episode?
Or the episode. Well, yeah, I thought the episode was badass, man. Like
Okay.
it's sort of like obviously it started with a flashback, which I hate. Do I hate? Yeah, I think I hate flashbacks, but like
Technically, it wasn't a flashback though.
no, yeah, I guess
Technically,
because it started. Yeah, I guess so.
yeah.
Yeah, it's first scene. It's not flashback to anything. Yeah, I thought it was a good episode, man. It's so, it kind of like okay, because like introducing a lot of characters. The actual concept of the Continental. Um, Winston, his brother, Sharon, who's actually Lance Reddick in the later films, and it's just sort of giving you rather than like I know we talk about this on the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. Stay tuned and listen, guys. Subscribe. But like rather than just directors or writers just telling you everything, they just sort of throw it in there and allow you to figure it out yourself because they think or they're assuming like us viewers of their TV shows are smart enough to figure out exactly what the hell is going on. And I think that's kind of what happened here. Because there's actually quite a bit going on. So it's sort of
Yeah.
like, okay, this all matches up and this kind of all relates to this and this all relates to that. And yeah, just thought it was a really good episode. And obviously like the action scenes with Boss as well. And really liked it. Really liked it.
Robert, what about you?
Facts. For the first time, I agree with Obiora Fiatro. Let the record hold. But no, I think it was really, really good. I think there was quite a lot in there. I know it's an hour and a half, which is a very long time. but there is a lot in there, and I think it goes through quite a lot of stages as well, which is really nice to see. I think there was a point where I thought it was over, and then I scrolled over my screen. I was like, "Damn, I have 30 minutes left."
Yeah, it's like 40
Like,
minutes.
so there's still so much to get. I think the conversations were quite funny as well at different points, where Mel Gibson's character goes to one of the henchmen and is like, either you kill one of these guys or you jump off the jump off the window. And you
I
see,
feel like not to give him any more credit, but whoever wrote that Incontinental joke has my respect
yeah,
forever.
yeah.
That was
That
wild.
was an incredible line, and I think there's like other stuff. There's little things as well. Like I think the romance between Winston's brother and Yen's really nice to see. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
You know, like what I'm jealous about in this kind of universe where everyone can speak all the languages and everyone can understand everybody. Like everyone's a polyglot on there. I'm kind of like, fucking hell, I
That's
wish that
very
was me,
true,
man.
actually.
Honestly, barely speak English and I'm struggling.
Which is interesting because actually it'll be interesting to see how Winston's language abilities develop over the
Yeah, because
course
he
of
Yeah.
actually didn't grow up because he was based in London, wasn't he?
yeah.
Yep.
Imagine them flying you from London in a body bag there with a bag over your head.
Well, he was locked
Like
up though, wasn't he? Wasn't he locked
yeah,
out?
but like still, one day you're in a shower post making a massive business deal where you
About
pretend
to, yeah,
to
do the
be someone
business.
else. Next day you're in
Some
where are
grotty ass
they? New
city.
York, New Orleans,
New York,
Chicago,
yeah.
New York,
New
yeah.
York. Yeah. Next day you're in New York, and yeah, you're in the middle of someone's living room. Mad.
I'm going to be a little bit contrarian and say I didn't love the episode.
Okay.
Right?
Oof.
I
Why
liked it. There were
not?
some good things, but I didn't love it. One, obvious, I felt like it was too long. Like I feel like they could have definitely cut down on that 1 hour 30 minutes, right? That's just low level critique. Like, yeah, obviously. I would say the music was great. The score at certain points was amazing. And from the first scene, I was locked in from the camera work in the first scene when Frankie is his name is going up the
Yeah.
stairs and he's speaking to that guy. And
Hmm.
yeah, the opening few scenes of that episode were just amazing. Going down the railways, coming up, the heist, everything was beautiful. But apart from the episode being too long, I feel like at certain points it felt like they were trying to give us a different show that didn't have a lot of things that we love about the John Wick universe.
So
Like
like, yeah. Give me
I
like
think the
explain
opening
yourself.
scene, sadly enough, was the most exciting part of the episode. And I think that's a mistake on their part because you come in on such a high,
What the
and then
heist?
No.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
feel
agree
like
there.
that's the most interesting scene. And I also feel like the ending of the episode I didn't love because
Yeah, I didn't love it as well.
I love the guy who plays young Winston, but
Hmm.
I just left that episode feeling like again Frankie was the most interesting person in this
Yeah.
show, and now he's no more. So as a pilot, it definitely sets a lot of things up. You see a lot of things
Hmm.
happening, a lot of things going on. There's sort of like subtext as well because obviously Cormac is stressed
Hmm.
and his bosses are already not happy with him for some reason that hopefully we'll find out.
Find out
And
eventually. Yeah.
now I think the show will pick up though in like episode 2 and 3 because now it's just typical John Wick. It's like a straight up revenge story now,
Hmm.
and it's like an assault on something, and they have something they want to fight for. So it feels like it will pick up, but I just didn't. Some things didn't connect for me. A lot was happening, but a lot of it also didn't connect. Like the detective, yeah, that was cool. But then the black family, I don't know, some of it just felt too disjointed, and I was disappointed because of how long the episodes were. If that was a 30-minute, 40-minute pilot, I would have said I'd have given them a bit of leeway. But
An
because of the
hour.
length,
Give them
I'm
an
like,
hour.
bring it together, guys. Bring it together. But yeah,
Yeah, there was.
I
that's what
think
I'll say about the episode. I don't want to give number ratings, but it was good. It was leaning on the good side, but I felt like it could have been better. And I just don't want them to lose the masses, if that makes sense. I don't want people to
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't want to just kind of repeat the same
yeah.
thing. You want to
And
kind of
yeah.
add a bit,
and another
something
thing is
more.
I thought Frankie was great in the action bits, and I thought young Winston was amazing when he's wheeling and dealing and like talking, even when he's talking to Cormac. It's not an easy task to play a young Ian McShane. Ian McShane has probably top 10, 15 auras in Hollywood. It's not easy to play a young Ian McShane, but the guy
True.
tried, and he was good when he
Yeah.
was wheeling and dealing and talking and manipulating and warming his way into places here and there. But there
Mhm.
wasn't enough of that for him, and it felt like they were trying to balance his show where this guy manipulates his way into the Continental, and with Frankie's show where this guy is trying to escape people who want to kill him. Maybe if they settled on one show where they're both trying to escape, or where he's trying to topple Cormac in the Continental, maybe the pilot would have been better.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, it's just a start, isn't it? So I
yeah,
guess that's all part of his. If he's going to start with like nothing, I guess that's just makes his character development much, build into something. So I guess we'll see in the next, 5 hours of
What did you guys
footage.
think about that car chase scene?
I have one issue with that. Oh God, I'm sounding like the Grinch. I
Yeah,
have
we'll
one
sound
issue with
like
that
that, man.
car chase scene, right? Is that the camera work throughout this episode was amazing. And
Hmm.
then even when the detective goes into the hotel and figures out there all something shady is going on there, the camera work is amazing. But then it feels like they got carried away, because then the car chase scene was shot like a trailer. And I just, it just, at some point I just checked out. I was like, guys, please, can I just choose something for me to focus on? Don't quick cut, um, slow mo, and like change angles at the same time. Like, just give me something, man. I don't know. The car chase scene irritated me. I tried to like it.
Um,
Before Jibs talks, I hated it. So let's all just
yeah,
know that
I'm not
there's
sure.
two against one, because
Well,
Jibs is about to say he loved
I didn't
it.
hate it, but like like how like what you're say watching a football game and you look at your phone, scrolling Twitter and stuff. That's actually how I felt while I was watching the catches like this. There's nothing
Yeah,
here. I guess like kind of relating to your point because there was like a bit too much cutting and I couldn't really follow it.
yeah.
And I mean car chase scenes. Hmm.
No, don't say it. I love a good car
Hmm.
chase scene. The reason why I love a good car chase scene, this is like a personal thing of mine, is that I love a good car chase scene because you can like almost like a good fight scene, but fight scenes don't even fall into this category. But a good car chase scene, you can score it with almost anything, and if you shoot the scene properly, then it should bang. And I feel like that should be a litmus test for a car chase scene.
Yeah.
If you can score it with Taylor Swift and the
No,
car
no.
chase bangs, then you have a hit.
For like some like Led
That's
Zeppelin.
there from Deadpool, wasn't it? Because
Yep,
they had that car chase scene at the start, and like he was playing. What song was he playing
salt
at
and
the
pepper.
start? Salt and
No,
Pepper.
yeah,
There's
And
only
it
like
was an
what three
incredible
good car
scene.
chase scenes in like movie history, and I'm sort of
come
like
on.
There's a
There's the
lot.
Batman
five.
car chase scene.
Yeah, Batman.
There's the car chase
Um,
scene in Nobody is good.
what's that one? French Connection. That's like the top tier. That's like the criminal.
Oh my days!
I haven't
Every
seen French
John Wick
Connection.
movie has had a great car chase
Yup,
scene. What are
yup.
you
Even
talking
had a
about?
great
Great.
horse chase
It had
scene.
a horse chase scene. Do you know how wild that is?
Is it fine?
Actually, no. It had two. It had one in the
In John Wick
second
3 and
movie,
one in the
and
desert.
one in the desert.
The desert
Crazy.
one was pretty sick, actually. That's the last film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I just looked at my phone. I was like, kind of looking up and down. Like, I know it's like sort of breaking movie etiquette. Looking at my phone, but I was sort of like, this is. I could. It's like the
Yeah.
toilet break scene. This is the time to go to the toilet and come back.
Yeah, I was
You don't
quite
really miss
disappointed at
much.
that, to be honest. I expected more from that scene, and I could just tell they were trying to save budgets, but at the same time, it's come on, man.
Gosh, do you know what really grinded my gears in this episode?
What?
The fucking lighting, man. I literally could not
Oh
see
yeah.
anything.
Oh,
I
I was
I
squinting
I
for a
had to
bit there.
fiddle with my brightness on my laptop. As soon as the trailer came out, I was like, "Oh, I'm interested." And like a friend of mine replied on Twitter, and he was like, "He doesn't like the colors." I think that's what he said. And truth be told, when the episode came out, I was hoping it would be better or slightly more. See, the thing is, like, I don't even care. It doesn't even have to be bright, but it just wasn't vivid enough.
Let's
If that
fucking
makes
see what
yeah.
we're
sense.
watching. We're watching
Yeah,
things. Let's actually see what we're actually looking at.
like
Like,
the John
obviously, it's
Wick
dark.
scene in
Sometimes
one
it's dark.
when his house is completely dark. You can see more than certain
Yeah.
scenes
Yeah.
in this
That's actually
episode.
true.
Obviously, if something's dark. You're always going to see less of it, isn't it? Duh, science. But like, if it's daytime and like, I can't see like what am I looking at? Like, and you're sort of like trying to adjust your brightness, your contrast, and everything, and it's sort of like this is not twin experience.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that now. it's been a recurring theme
Yeah,
across quite a lot of new
There's a
movies,
Dark Knight
TV
effect,
shows
and
that have
everything
come
has
out.
to look
new action
grotty
films.
and
They're just
gritty.
Yeah,
The lighting has
because
to reflect some, the entire city is evil, and just
yeah, it was
yeah,
so
we're
dead.
watching a
Like, yo,
film.
I want to watch. Yeah,
Let us watch. Let's actually be able to see it. To
but
actually
there's a
watch
way to
it.
do that without like making us blind. Like,
yeah.
sorry to reference the Batman again, but that was a movie, man. Even in the darkness, they found a way.
I'll tell you what
Like
though. What
that
was
made sense.
my big plus? What I really liked about this episode was the soundtrack.
Yeah, it
Really,
was
really
it
liked the
was really
soundtrack.
cool. Every time there was a needle drop, I loved it. Or even yeah, like I already said about the score, I think this show is really well scored. The theme song as well, it really
Yeah.
takes you into it. So
Yeah, I think so. I only recognize I think I recognize like four songs. There was a lot of Santana in old
Look at you,
what
cultured.
wait, there's a lot of who, like
Santana.
Saucy Santana.
No, the Latin
I
rock
didn't hear
band.
Saucy Santana.
Maria.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's Santana,
that's
right?
Santana. Yeah, but like their
Okay,
old stuff back in the day,
I
Ooh,
see, I
and
is
there's
that
see.
what you listen to when you're out
God,
on town? When you're
rock
in
music, man.
Bristol
That's the
with your
hip hop.
babes?
Is trash. So I'm branching out now, and obviously there was like
Oh
there
boy,
was a
you're
bit
really showing your age.
of
Oh,
like
this
Black
pop
Sabbath
music
as
that all
well.
these Gen Zs and Gen Xs listen to.
I do like what's that? There's a new girl that released an album recently, Olivia something.
Rodrigo, of
That's
course.
she's the chosen one. But
Oh
Of
my days,
course.
your taste is so aged.
there's
Like, I expect you to be listening to Ice Spice Chips.
Shaz.
Don't get him started, please.
Is that a real hair?
Oh my
That's
god. Can we
that's
how
Yeah,
about
please,
that?
let's move on. Let's move on. I'm not going to be caught in the middle of this.
to be fair. I think in this universe, it's sort of like they're trying to, because I think this show is also trying to bring in the rise of the mafia as well, and there were quite a lot of like pop culture references. I think there was like a David Bowie reference, the Who reference as
Yeah.
well, and the guys in London at the start of the episode.
Can I say something? This is
Can
probably my fault for like not like going deep into history or knowledge of anything. I am so surprised that David Bowie and the Who were around at the same time or popping at the same time, actually. But yeah, just
yeah,
skip over that.
60s, 70s, yeah, that was
Yeah,
like there. I love the Who,
tracks
man.
actually.
um,
There was a Matrix reference at the end
Yep.
as well.
so like just normal civilians, like how do they fit in this universe then? Like, or are there?
You're
Where's the?
blind to what you don't know though. Like if you don't know what you're looking for, you won't see it.
So
I mean, you
it's
did
Unless
like
hear a
Harry Potter,
massive
like just
scream.
yeah.
certain people, like
Oh,
Muggles, can't see shit. Is that how it
Uh,
works?
but I think they see stuff though, because when that guy jumped out of the window, you hear like this loud scream
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I
when
guess
he
so.
falls. But then when Winston comes out of the building, there's someone like cleaning the street from where he fell. I just like, bro, like, is anyone going to talk about it? But I think people just understand that the hotel is like
Because you even
Shit
see
a
the
happens in
police
shady
there.
place.
officers. You even see the
Yeah,
police officer, like her superior runs to her, like, do not go in there. They do their thing and we stay away
Fair
from
enough.
this
yeah.
corner. Yeah.
It's like going to like Harlesden and Northwest London. It's like you don't go there. Like shit is going
Jeez,
to happen.
I did not know
bro.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
thanks for
what's
the
where did you
geography
pull that
lesson.
from,
Yeah.
Jibs?
But yeah, I'm quite interested to see where they take this, and like obviously it's going to chronicle like the rise of Winston. Um, what's his Winston Scott, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering like because I think we're more. Would you say we're more worried about, or we care more about just adding more elements to this world rather than the actual character storyline of the actual Winston guy?
That's a good question. That's an actual because when I asked you guys a question about like what spin-off did you want to see, I would never have like wanted or asked for a spin-off on how Winston came to own the Continental.
Yeah,
Just yeah. So that's yeah, I think we might be conflating the two desires. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
more people just want to see more of the John Wick universe than are
Mm-hmm.
actually interested in this guy's story. And to be honest, now that I think about it, I was more interested in what the hell that coin machine does and why it's so important than like Winston and his brother and the drama. And I don't care, man. They should have kept Frankie alive. Sorry to digress, but yeah, I think we're conflating the two desires.
Nah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think the
no,
only question there with keeping Frankie alive is if Frankie was still alive. I don't know if we would have ever had a John,
So you're trying
because
to say
Frankie
okay.
was like, he was a badass. Like, he was just doing things on
Oh
his
right,
own,
that's
the
true.
same way John would have.
yeah.
So I don't know why I'm calling him John. Like, I know him on a first name basis as well.
Nah,
But
he's your guy,
Mr. Wick.
Mr. Wick.
Mr. Wick.
Mr.
Oh
Wick.
my god, I've missed hearing that. I can't lie. Mr. Wick.
Yeah, and I don't think we would have had a Mr. Wick if Frankie was still alive.
Frankie
So
would
it
have been
made
like
sense to kill him.
70 though.
Yeah, but he would have fucked you up, man.
No. So my thing is like Frankie could have like died at the last episode or something.
Nah, but like he's supposed to, like, because like this TV show is supposed to be showing Winston being this like ruthless guy, isn't it? And I think like for that to be shown, and for us to, for them to be able to like convince us viewers that he's just like this
He's
ruthless
ruthless.
guy, he has to
Yeah.
have like not it's like not someone helping him, but he has to be all alone to show like how ruthless he's become
Fair.
and stuff. So that's kind of how I think they're going.
Fair.
Sorry, I digress. Winston died in 4, right? Or my
No,
no, he
No,
didn't, did he?
he
someone
didn't.
else died in 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Winston is just a rat, man. Like that guy just
I don't know
doesn't
how
die.
he didn't die.
Blood
That was
is gonna
mad.
Because
tell, man.
yeah, he did something very no. John Wick saved his life at the expense of his.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Winston was meant to die
Yeah,
there
because
and then
is
John lost.
there is a spin-off film though, in the John Wick universe as well. Ana de Amas is going to be
oh
like the
yeah,
lead.
oh
I
yeah,
think it's called like Ballerina.
oh
I
that is
think
going to
Oh
be
yeah,
interesting.
I
That is
think it
going
was
to be
scheduled to
interesting.
come out this year, but lol. No. Nothing
Jibs,
is
that's
coming
something
out
you have
this
to
Solidarity,
say
year.
there.
solidarity to the workers,
Nothing
man.
is coming out this year,
It
unfortunately.
didn't sound
So
like that's what Jibs was saying.
no, I'm pretty. I'm like Karl Marx,
Good.
but without the beard. So I think
Please
it's coming
work.
out like sometime next year or
Cool, cool, cool.
2025. Who knows?
I think that will be good as well.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Well, because she did like a little. I'm not sure if you guys seen the last Bond film, but she kicked some ass there as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
She
That
was like,
scene was
Yeah.
beautiful.
True.
I think she was like, that's probably the best scene of the film.
Yeah,
So I think she was like do some stuff on there. But yeah, I'm quite interested to see like where these lots go. Who owns it? So I'm reading
they're
here.
just going to fuck
Thunder
shit
Road
up now.
Films.
Like
Yeah, but it's
he's
like
gone to ask for guns.
Yeah.
I love the callbacks. See, I just said like I miss hearing Mr. Wick, and now the way it ends is like guns, lots of guns.
lots of guns. Yeah, that was good.
Oh my god, I miss Keanu, man.
But like
Yeah.
Winston isn't like at the moment he isn't goon yet though, is he?
Winston
No.
is not a goon. He never becomes a goon because even in the movies, he acts like guns are beneath him, and he still acts like that now in the prequel. Like he doesn't want to touch them, and he sees them as. But even in the movies, he acts like guns are beneath him. He doesn't like seeing dead bodies. He's like, oh, he makes that
Yeah.
face Ian McShane makes when he sees something happen. So yeah,
But
I
like
don't
there's
think
a
he ever
reason
becomes
why
a
he
goon.
like the owners of the Continental, like here we've got Cormac. What's his name? Cormac O'Connor, the Mel Gibson character who runs the Continental. And in the John Wick films it's Winston. So like they must wield a certain amount of power. And
Yeah.
for them to actually have
Yeah.
gotten to that position of power, they must have, killed a lot of
Done
people,
something.
done a
Yeah.
lot of
They
things.
could do something to prove their loyalty. So I wonder what they're gonna ask him to do because he's lost his
Don't you?
brother.
I think it's the coin thing. Because
What do you mean?
I swear, Frankie said it, that whoever has the coin maker has the control.
Of the Continental?
That's the
Maybe.
Yeah,
power.
or am I mistaken? Or am I misreading? I'm pretty sure he said something like that during the episode, that whoever actually has it has control of the Continental.
Fair enough.
So it's like having a what's that thing that they have in cartoons, where with a lease, is it a lease agreement or something? Where basically if you
in
have it, you own the
cartoons.
house. Yeah,
Elise
Elise
from
in
cartoons. You're talking
Bro.
about like
I watched too much Tom and Jerry growing up, man.
oh my
Some dumb
god.
stuff.
out of everywhere to pull a lease from a cartoon. Fair enough. But yeah, the coin maker and why it's so important because I'm sure they have a limited amount of coins and why they give them out. And the lady was talking all the stuff about this institution older than the Roman Empire, blah blah blah. Oh, actually, you know what? What would be
Mhm.
a funny crossover is if they name drop any of the not any if they name dropped Ezio Auditore in any of these episodes. You guys are looking at me like you don't know who that is.
Is that the? Hold on. Don't tell me. That's the guy in the white. He's from a video game, isn't he?
Yes,
He's got the white hood. I've forgotten. Oh,
that's the main character
What,
of
Assassin's
Assassin's
Creed?
Creed.
Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
yeah. If they reference
that'll
any of
actually be
them, that would
mad.
be cool. That would be
Yeah.
really cool.
that's way. Wasn't that like in the before Christ era?
Eh?
No,
It
oh
depends.
my god, are you
It's not the
mad?
BCs.
No,
I'm pretty
Assassin's
sure.
Creed
I'm
is
pretty
like
sure Assassin's Creed is BC.
So that's all like in the
no.
medieval times, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's
I think it
no.
starts
Wait,
BC.
how can the medieval times be before Christ?
That was definitely.
No. I mean, you have some that are
Oh
BC.
yeah,
Don't you
like
have?
That's some that are BC though.
there is the ancient Greek one. That one
Yeah.
was BC. Yeah, that one was BC. But everyone else is after. Oh, please.
No. I was like, I'm not bugging. I'm pretty sure they have some that
Gosh,
are
I haven't heard that
BC.
Yeah,
last. I haven't heard that word in ages, man. No,
they have the
throwback.
Greek ones in
Are the games
BC.
still coming out, or
Yeah, because
They're still coming
Valhalla
out.
came out 2
Yeah,
years ago.
I have Valhalla, and they're
Is
making a
it
new
good?
one. Valhalla is interesting. It's different from I think all the other ones. It's more
First.
gritty, and you can't just spam. If they rush you, you're finished. Just feel like that. It feels real. It feels realer than the rest. Like you don't have any
Yeah,
supernatural abilities, and move fighting with an axe is always better than the things they used to use. The swords.
yeah.
Those swords are too easy. Yeah,
Fizz.
but the
It's
story is
interesting.
also really good. The story is really good. The cutscenes, the movie parts of it are amazing. So yeah, I've still not finished it though. It's long as fuck.
is it an easier game than God of War?
Yeah,
Yes. No. God of War is too easy. I feel because there's too many low level bosses.
Just spam your this thing,
Yeah, yeah. You can
spam all
just.
the buttons. And
It
you
feels like a waste of time. It feels like they're just there to waste your time. If that makes sense. Like
yeah.
there's no real thingy challenge. But yeah, episode 2 and 3. Where do you guys think this is going? And like, what
well,
are
it's
you
the big. It's going
excited
to be
to
the big
see?
showdown between him and
Actually,
Cormac, isn't it?
can I say one random thing before we get into this?
Mhm.
Why? This is going to sound crazy out of context, but why was that lady so horny when that guy went into the dojo? It was so
Oh
random.
yeah,
I was like, "Yo, my guy!"
yeah.
I was like, you're so horny. You're even scaring me." I'm like, "What is
She was
going?"
like, I think when he walked in, she was like, "Oh, I don't. Well, we don't have anything to offer for a pretty boy like
What?
you."
No,
I
she
was
was
like,
like, "No, we can offer you a discount, a pretty white boy
"Oh
discount." I
yeah,
was like,
the
"What?"
white pretty boy discount." I was like, "Bro, like, chill out, man."
Oh God, no, that scene was funny.
Relax, just relax.
I don't know. Maybe she was trying to get him to drop his guard, and then like, yeah, I think that's what was happening.
Probably.
She was trying to get him
An
to drop his
attack.
guard. I can't lie, it
Yeah,
would have
but
worked
at the
on
same
me.
time, she was angry when he pulled out the gun, and she was like, "Oh, chance missed."
But I think like
Oh
the
God.
actual, let's call it spine of the episode was Frankie at the start of the episode
Yeah,
steals this um thing.
ancient thing.
Yeah, ancient. I'm guessing it's a MacGuffin
Yeah.
relic, and basically Cormac is trying to get it back, and he brings in Winston from London to find his brother,
Hmm.
and that's kind of like the plot of the. And obviously, along the way, we meet some people, and I'm guessing like you kind of asked about like where season 2 and 3 is probably going to be like they're going to be on a chase where
But that black family, I don't know. I don't know how much I like them. I don't know how necessary they
Yeah,
are.
like, if
Hopefully,
you
we'll
give
see.
them one episode, are they going to last?
I don't know. I just hope they don't become annoying because right now I don't see any interest. I don't have any interest in them.
Jeez, that's
Yeah,
huh?
not enough charisma or
that's racist.
skill to keep me engaged.
You don't follow the hashtag diversity, hashtag inclusion,
Yeah,
Don't kill me.
actually, now that you
hashtag
mention it, it kind of
equality.
feels like forced diversity and inclusion because I don't know, I didn't love them. They have
You're
their
not a
story
fan.
about their dad's dojo and everything, but I'm not on this BLM hype, man.
Jeez.
Don't mod me. What's Lawrence Fishburne's character's name?
the Bowery King. I don't know what his real name is in the thing.
Ah,
Or are you
Yes.
theorizing that may
yeah.
be him?
That may be him.
Maybe,
Ah,
maybe.
Did we find out
I
his
didn't
name in
think
that episode?
about
I don't
that.
think we did.
I didn't think about that. Interesting. I'm not gonna
yeah.
Google it or try and find out for
Nah,
myself.
I
We'll
think
see.
if it
Nah.
comes out, it comes out.
We'll see.
Do you reckon we're gonna have like a little John Wick cameo, like young John Wick?
No,
Probably at
no,
the
they're in
end.
like the 60s. How old do you guys think John Wick is?
Yeah, no, isn't he?
Let's
Nah,
say he's
he'll probably
50.
be
Like in the
5.
70s?
No, how would John Wick be in the 70s?
No. I think they might be. I think the 70s. They could be in the 70s.
I think in the 70s.
Either
Yeah.
60s or 70s.
Okay, I thought they were in the 60s, but then
Probably
the 70s,
70s.
then
70s. I'll say 70s. That's kind of when
Because
Bowie.
Frankie must be
yeah,
what, 30 something,
they
and
they could have
Winston's
a young
20.
John Wick. They could have a
Like maybe
young
like a
John Wick.
boy John Wick or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jordani
but no, they
Jovanovic.
wouldn't have John Wick because John Wick was a Russian immigrant or refugee or something.
Yeah.
Like it will be very hard for them. Maybe they go visit the Russians and they see a little kid destroying adults, and they're
And they're
like,
like,
"That's
this
Jardani."
is the
This is the
guy.
guy.
Yeah. Watch out.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be such an MCU thing to do, though, but it would still be fun.
Shout out to Black Panther.
Yes,
That-
shout out to Black Panther.
Have we all
Don't
have
say
we all come
anything.
to have we all
Don't say anything.
okay.
No, we're not doing this
What
again.
was he about to say? No,
This is my
say
this is my
I'm
third. We're
interested.
not doing this.
I'm interested. Say it, Jibs.
I was like, are we can we be honest about that second Black Panther film?
It was amazing. That's me being
Gee.
honest.
See.
I
man.
am not gonna lie. I don't entirely disagree with Jibs.
Okay.
I was a bit like, this is
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys
that's
have
kind of
the
how I was
audacity.
like,
I can't believe you guys have the audacity and the temerity to even attempt to judge Black Panther objectively. Like that's just I'm not even going to engage. Anybody who asks me about Black Panther, even if they make a Black Panther 17, it's a minimum 8 out of 10. I don't care who
and they were
makes
like,
it.
what's the woman? The mom, the legend,
Ooh, Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett. Like, let's nominate her for an Oscar. I was like, are you guys having a fucking
Oh, okay, wait. Okay, that's where I stop you
I'm
there.
blocking.
Actually,
I'm
no,
blocking you.
no,
Are you
that's where I
guys
stop you there.
trying to
Actually,
wind me
because
up, man?
her
Relax.
actual performance
See,
was
the
incredible.
thing is, like, this is what I said about judging objectively. Worst performances have won Oscars, so I don't know why it's such a big deal that like she should be nominated, and she got nominated, and she should have won. But you know,
Her performance was
the
incredible.
abbreviation won
Like,
everything. So
Oh boy. I mean, well, I've already made my thoughts clear on that film. So.
okay, another great film, by the way. You need your own podcast. Anyway, guys, we enjoyed the episode. We felt like it could have been better in a few places here and there, and I think I'm going to wrap this up by asking you guys
What?
what is a random niche thing you like about the John Wick universe?
Niche, the action, because we barely get any fucking action, do we? So it's become niche these days.
Fair enough.
All the
That's
action
a
these
fair
days is all
point.
like just shaky cam and cuts. So when you actually have something that they're holding, I think there was one. I think it might have been John Wick 4. They went from like Skyview and they followed it up to kind of handheld, and that was just like, this is fucking insane. So just the way they shoot the action scenes and the way they actually employ people who know what they're doing
Fair.
and who you can actually see the fights and the punches and everything and the effects and all of that. That's, I mean, it might sound basic. I like the fucking bars in, Australia, basically. So yeah, the action, I guess.
What about you, Robert?
I mean, it's cheats a bit and say one mixed with another, but I think it's definitely jumping off buildings or jumping out of heights. Because in every single
Jump
John
a
Wick
lot,
movie,
that's a good shout.
someone's jumped out of heights or fallen or being thrown off. Which I'm very surprised that guy died, meaning that they don't have their Kevlar suits on lock yet. Because actually, that was
See,
his
the thing
best second
about
thing.
falling in John Wick is that, bro, I can't lie. Some of the falls John Wick himself takes, I'm just like, even if I don't die, I would just won't get up. Please,
Yeah.
like I'm out of action. Please,
Because that's a lot.
Oh, nah, I'm not even gonna get to it.
The
But yeah,
staircase in John Wick 4 is the worst thing I've watched in my life because I'll be
you
so
so
pissed off.
that staircase scene, right? We can dedicate to talk about that staircase scene because it deserves it. Is that it wasn't funny. I would describe that staircase scene to you is that it starts happening, right? And everyone is like, and then at some point you just have to laugh because you're like, fuck off. Like this is not this
It's like he just kept going. And I'm like, bro, at least like put your arm out and stop yourself.
you just give like, oh my god, that was such a random, very, very funny moment in a serious
Yeah,
film. Because at some point you
yeah.
just had to laugh, like, rah, this guy really, oh my god.
Because I must
Yeah.
have been what, like 500 steps. And the
Bro,
guy just kept rolling and rolling. I was like, bro, come on, man. Pick yourself back up. Pick yourself back up.
do
Yeah.
anything,
best
something.
best
Stop
film of the
it.
series, man. I don't know, I really enjoyed it though. Like I know it's an hour and a half. I know I've clowned it about like the lights and stuff, but I don't know. It was just like just nice and easy watching, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
people are
It made me
talking
excited
weird,
for
people are sounding serious.
two.
Just like a nice and easy watch, man. Because like sometimes all you need is some pew 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 in your life, don't you? And some good
Don't
character
kill me.
development and some world building. What else can you ask
Fair enough.
for?
True. What about
And
you,
everything
My
has
Emeka?
been
favorite
analysis
my
of like
favorite
capitalism.
niche thing. My favorite niche thing from the John Wick universe is you know the killing shots they do where they like draw a straight line from the crotch to the chest and then the head.
Hmm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know why I love that so much. When they put one in the chest and then the guys on the floor and they make sure to put one in the head as well. It was just, and speaking of that, some of the kills Frankie executes in this episode are just
Pretty badass, yeah.
yeah, like there was one where he lined up two people and just
Yeah.
yeah.
He
I
shot
love
through, I think through the neck and then through the
Yeah.
head for both of them. Crazy.
I love that trope in like movies and stuff and TV shows where it's like my wish was for you to never get into this, business, and the person just becomes the fucking. That was the Godfather thing. You haven't watched Godfather, have you?
I have
I
not.
have.
Okay,
I've seen the
and it's
first
like
one.
I've
never
seen
wants you
bits
to
of the
come into
first one.
the family, and Michael becomes the fucking head of the family and the fucking top boss in it. So yeah, just
I
like
need to
another
Yeah.
watch The
like little trope
Godfather.
that I like. Yeah,
I think on the kill shots though, I think that's actually a very good point because you just need to make sure sometimes. Like you just have to give it everything. So just make
Bro,
sure.
it's like if I have the bullets, let me because I will probably waste it anyway. Now that I have someone lying in front of me to take it,
Yeah,
let me just
like let me make sure. At least you're not going to wake back up and like do anything to be a come for your revenge. So let me make sure.
John Wick, man.
Johnny
What a
boy.
franchise.
Yeah,
Anyway, guys, this was a pleasure. Lovely doing this with you guys, and I look forward to the next two episodes and sharing our thoughts with the listeners. Hopefully, it finishes with a bang. I trust them. I want to trust them, you know. And also,
Absolutely,
one thing I want to say, shout out to them is like, I don't know, Banky might disagree because Banky just knows everybody, but I feel like this is a pretty unknown cast. So shout out to them. You know, some people might make their names on this show. So
factors.
true. Yeah, I do like that though. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point, Ibuko, because like you don't really have any history and baggage with any of them. Which
yeah,
Yeah.
is like the most well-known person out of the cast.
I think the I recognize Frankie from
Don't
Vikings.
kill me, Mel Gibson. What's going on?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
What's going on?
fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I
Fair
forgot
enough.
about him. Yeah,
So he's like top billing. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was funny. Actually, no, I stand by that. We don't recognize Mel Gibson on this podcast.
we
I
absolutely
recognize Frankie from Vikings.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Vikings, man. That's just one genre I just can't be bothered about.
Oh my god, let's end this. Don't worry.
Vikings,
You don't know anything.
zombies.
I don't blame
Can't be
you.
bothered, man. Zombies
You
is
just you just got
Jibs has
caught.
an
You don't know
experience with that.
basketball.
not for me. Not for me.
What? I try Vikings. I don't know. I don't even tell people to try Vikings. Like telling people to try something that's good. If you don't enjoy it, sorry.
I'm currently watching The Americans right now.
The
So I want to be a
That's
American.
spy.
that's your type of thing. So
I want
Oh,
to,
well, you don't like zombies, but you like spies.
I want to be a spy. Well, one is actually
Yeah.
real. I want to
Says
be a
who?
spy, so I'm doing my research. Always working,
Ah,
Oh,
man.
fair,
Always
fair.
grinding. Always grafting.
The only kind
interesting.
of spy I want to be is the one in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, bro. Just like yeah.
Jeez. I was about to have another dark trick, but that's just too bad.
That's
Good
that.
boy.
Imagine, I'm never gonna get into Mr. and Mrs. Smith, man, because people will see how broken I am. Let's just end it.
Yeah, I was about to. It was going to be Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, but
Uh,
But yeah, apparently there's a remake of that coming up too
yeah.
with
isn't that with
Childish
Childish Gambino?
Gambino. Yep, and some other lady. I don't know who the lady is.
Never liked Childish Gambino.
I can't
Man.
lie. I can't lie, if I ever got into casting circles and if I ever had casting power in Hollywood, that's probably the first thing I'd cast myself in, a Mr. and Mrs. Smith
What,
spin-off.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Yeah, so
Wow.
I don't blame him.
Fizz.
Oh, but I would cast it with like Angelina Jolie, like just
Of course.
for continuity's sake. Like not that I want it to
Yeah.
be her or anything, just
Right,
like
right.
give them a familiar face.
No, you have to give people what they want. Like you can't just change
Exactly.
Angelina Jolie. For what?
Exactly.
You can always change the Mr. Smith, but never change the Mrs.
Exactly.
Well, because it's going to be like Childish Gambino and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, isn't it?
Oh. Mm.
Fizz.
Oh. They should have given us Anna de Armas and someone. But
So
I'm
you guys
not-
are
Have you watched that
texting,
movie with
please.
Ben Affleck?
I'm an
Amazon Prime?
N-word
That is the weirdest film I've watched
in
my life.
Glasgow, so like my opinions don't count. I haven't watched that movie. I thought that was the movie Jibs would make his return to the podcast on.
I got so drunk one night and I watched it and I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? It was so weird.
Good
But
weird or bad
She
weird?
looked hot. What?
Good
Ugh,
weird or
of course.
bad weird?
Bad weird. It was a
Oh,
bad
okay.
film. One.
Okay.
Then Ben Affleck, I think then they were like dating or something. So like that
Fair.
dynamic. Sure, that lasted long. And yeah, just a weird. Yeah. Ben Affleck has like this serial
Interesting.
killer, and her is like this serial adulterer. Just strange,
Mm.
strange.
Equal
yeah.
crimes, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm getting off. Thank you very much.
I feel like that,
On that
we need to bring back. We need to bring back like the erotic thriller. Where did that go?
Don't worry, you can direct the next
I'll
one.
direct the next Swiss Bank.
Yeah.
Bradley's director, isn't he? So he's direct. We're giving him like ideas. Because I'd watch that.
Of course you will. That's where they'll find you.
I can't lie. I don't want to watch any erotic film directed by a friend of mine. I'm so sorry.
I do a podcast on it as well.
That's bad.
Oh, actually speaking of, I'm not a director obviously, but I don't think I could make an erotic film because it would just be too open. Like you can't just open your mind like that to the rest
I
of
was
the
talking to
world.
Bankley about this, right? And I was like, sex scenes, like if you're doing multiple takes for a sex scene, surely there'll be like not a connection there, but like there'll be something there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
No,
I
no, I
actually
don't.
disagree.
I
I
don't
think
get
it
what
would be
you
the
say. What do you
opposite.
mean?
Honestly, hold on. There's no way you can be like 100% professional. Like your scene.
I'm not leaving this in the episode. No, but there is 100% a way you can be professional because I feel like the more you literally see it shot and reshot, you stop being even like it just starts to irritate. Like let's just get
Fair
this shit
enough.
right,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But it's like
I don't know.
But it's
Though.
like after you finish shooting, right? You're like, do you know what? I should go
Fizz.
chat to her. Just like let me see what they're saying.
Oh my god, guys, please! I'm ending the episode like 5 minutes ago. You cannot be allowed out in normal
my
society.
days. To be
I know,
fair,
Alright, guys.
I mean, Jibs, you raised some points, but it's alright.
Please, guys, these views are the views of OBR and OBR alone, not the views of Popcorn for Dinner. And we're all professional on this podcast, especially the people who are behind the camera. Thank you. All right, guys. Goodbye. See you next week when we return to talk about episode 2 of the Continental or the Incontinental, because Jibs is right now drinking some milk.
Who's
So
tr-
I think we're going to
So-
name like when I say milk, I actually mean like a glass of milk and not
a
a
glass of milk?
woman of the Yakubian descent. Alright, guys. Good night.
Oh,
Everyone,
God.
bye, guys.
Good
Thanks, guys.
night. Peace and
Thanks.
love.